Yeah. We here once again, right inside in the house. Want to say a pleasant good evening to the 10,000 of you looking on right now. Oh Lord, I'm just loving this thing. So we're here again, once again, another fine Tuesday evening in Trinidad and Tobago, and of course I would want to guess other parts of the world as well. Despite all the chaos that we're going through with all this with the pandemic and all this madness, life still goes on, right? Life still goes on. Let me just load this music a little bit. Life still goes on. We're still here. We're still pressing. We still have things to do. This is not the end of the world. This might be the end of some people's worlds, for want of a better word, but it's not the end of the world. There's still a lot to be accomplished. There's still a lot for you to do. There's still a lot for me to do. There's still a lot for us to get engaged with, and press on. We've been through worse. The worst may be still to come. The worst probably is still to come from this thing, but we have actually been through worse in the world, and we're still here. We survive. The human race have a way of picking themselves up and kicking back in and just pressing on. So we will make it. We just have to use some common sense, use some tact, use some wisdom. We can't be ridiculous. You understand what I'm saying? We just need to do what we need to do and do it correctly, and and pass through this thing. So we do it as usual. If you want to get in touch with us to just to talk about some topic, you want to raise an issue, you want to share something, you want to bring something to light. Of course, we're all about education, inspiration, motivation. So feel free to engage us so we can engage you and engage the public on these matters. We're not talking politics. Yes, we may talk national issues and stuff like that, economics, but we're not talking politics. We're not on the party thing, red party, yellow party, green, blue, pink, whatever color. We're not on that. Not on this channel. If you want to talk to somebody from the government, no problem. You want to talk about somebody opposition, which forms part of the government, so to speak. In that sense, yes. But we're not coming down the road, no party politics and that kind of thing. That's not what it is about. So we're here again, continuing the series. So we coming again with a new set of tips. So we did 10 tips to success. We did 7 success killers. We did 10 tips to a healthier, a long-lasting relationship. This evening we want to get into some tips for healthier living. At the end of the day, if you're not healthy, your health is your wealth. As we you know that phrase. Your health is your wealth. So if you could have all the money in the world and and all that kind of stuff, but if you're not healthy to enjoy it, what is the sense? What is the purpose? Imagine you are a multi-millionaire, having worked all your life, and you have big business, and you're doing it. You've been doing it, and then suddenly you find yourself where you have to take that same set of millions just to keep yourself alive. Might be worth it for some. They might say, well, probably that's why I was working so hard, so I could have the millions to keep. Maybe. But then maybe if you had exercised certain preventative measures or done certain things differently, maybe you would not have had to spend the millions just to keep yourself healthy, and alive, in that sense. So again, depends on how you look at it. But what we want to do today, again, just like we did before, we've engaged a number of people, professionals in different spheres, different areas of expertise, and they have given just one tip as far as they are concerned. What is one thing that you need to put into play in order to have a healthier lifestyle? A couple of them were actually surprising, a little bit surprising to me, maybe not to you when you hear them, But I was a little bit surprised and pleasantly, not in a bad way, when I heard of a couple of these. I would not have thought about putting them on a list for healthier lifestyle. But then when I listened to the explanation, it makes perfect sense. What these fine folks have to say. So without any further ado, this is what it's about. It's just about 10 tips we want to give people. You may know some others, and feel free to engage us in the chat. If you have a number 11, a number 12, a number 13, a number 14, what might be a tip? Maybe something that was passed on to you by your parent, your grandparent, maybe an elder in the community, or something from studies, from research on the web and stuff. You came across this and you decide to try to implement it, and you say, hey, it works, it makes a lot of sense. So engage. Let's know what it is. So if you have extra tips, feel free to drop it in, pop it in, and let's engage. So we go in with tip number 1. 10 tips for a healthier lifestyle.
I am a massage therapist and a personal trainer, and one tip I can give for a healthy lifestyle is self-care. We can go in a lot of directions with self-care, but me personally, what I do for my self-care is exercise. Now, I may not, or people may not do what I may do exercise-wise, but you need to find that thing that motivates or keeps you moving to ensure a healthy lifestyle. Now, my choice is exercise because of my lifestyle, and I am always active. And you need to have that time and have that balance in your lifestyle to do the things for yourself. Now, it may not have to be exercise. I mean, there's self-care. You can have a massage if it's to get some time to pamper yourself. You name it, whatever gives you that time to relax, to recover from whatever day's work, labor, etc. that you may do on a daily. You need to get that for yourself.
Yeah. That's Mr. Kevin Lucas, Hands of Hercules, massage therapist and physical personal trainer. So if you want to get in touch with these guys at the end of the video, if you want to get in touch with these guys, subsequently I will post their relevant contact information. So if you want to get in touch with them, or you can just reach out to me and link me up, and I put you onto these guys. I've personally used the service of some of them, and boy, these folks are good. You really feel refreshed, revived, and re-energized, and you're ready to pump and go again when they finish with you. So we're going on to tip number 2. Yeah, is that it? Tip number 2. So physical exercise, regular exercise. Some people get a particular routine that they do every day, like clockwork. So they have specific times, and they have specific exercises that they do every day, like clockwork. So after a while, it becomes like almost automated. So just the way we how we do things, you just get up and you just go straight to it without even thinking. You just go. Your body just muscle memory. So your body just naturally just gravitates towards doing it. Starting is always tricky. It's always a little difficult. It's always a little challenging, and it's even more challenging doing by yourself. So some people would even add to that, getting a partner. If you're going the route of exercising, they may say get a partner to work with you. All right. So thanks. We want to thank Mr. Kevin Hercules Thomas for that fine tip. So let's go on to tip number 2.
Hi, good day. This is Brother Noel Emmanuel Jack. I'm your health consultant / specialist, a wildlife master herbologist, and a naturopathic practitioner. And I'm from the Antediluvian Nature Center of Life Extension and Health Recovery. I just want to give you one health tip today. Yes, it is very important for us to use our herbs. Herbs contain micronutritional elements and medicinal properties that when you use them, they're embedded within your body, within your cells. They help your cells to produce antibodies to fight all ailments and diseases in the body. Whether you're suffering from HIV, AIDS, right on to herpes zoster, cancer, diabetes, hormonal problems, hormonal imbalances, whatever disease you're suffering from, the herbs are for the healing of the nation. The herbs are for medicine. The herbs are for the service of man. The herbs are for the healing of the nation. So I'm encouraging you, wherever you are, give attention to the herbs because they contain basic minerals and vitamins, micronutrients, and medicinal property to help the body to heal itself from all ailments and diseases. You're going to get a lot of energy. You're going to get a vitality. I encourage you to use the herbs today.
Yeah, so tip number 2 was from Noel Emmanuel Jack. Use your herbs, and I mean it's Trinidad and Tobago, African people on the whole, but Trinidad and Tobago, most indigenous people, I should say, understand the value of herbs. You know, we know the old granny recipe of certain types of bush to make certain types of drinks, to have certain types of effects, you know, on us, despite what science have tried to say over the years. I mean, let's be real, look at the evidence, we still are wrong. Look at the people who utilize a lot of herbs and herbal remedies in their situations, and look at them, look at their lives, look at their health status as compared to people who practically live on pharmaceuticals. I mean, that's a whole conversation we could go into right there. But herbs, I like what he said, herbs are for the healing of the nation. That is a serious note. Mr. Noel Emmanuel Jack, thank you very much for that wonderful tip. And let's go on to tip number 3, and this one comes from a nutritionist.
We're looking at fats.
Oops.
I would definitely consider a balanced diet to be one of the recipes for a healthy lifestyle. When I say a balanced diet, I really mean a diet that is balanced or contains all of the major nutrients, be it carbohydrates, we're looking at proteins, we're looking at fats, we're looking at vitamins, minerals, and even water. Why a balanced diet? It makes you feel energized, it makes you feel good, you have, much more energy throughout the day, and you live longer and you look younger too. When we're looking at a balanced diet, it's sometimes hard to do every day, but there are some basic tips that we can follow, such as the plate method, and that basically means dividing your plate in sections. So half of your plate would include vegetables, and this could include leafy green vegetables, cooked or raw, and definitely a lot of color. Now the vegetables would really provide the vitamins and minerals that you need, and a lot of fiber. That's half of your plate. 1/4 of your plate will include your proteins, and proteins are good for building muscles. Now proteins are essential for everything that we do, be it making more cells. If we get cut, it could repair the tissues, but proteins are really important, and we get our proteins from foods from animals, meat, our fish. We even get proteins from peas, beans, nuts, and seeds, and that's particularly important for those who are vegetarian or vegan. And our last quadrant would be that of carbohydrates, and carbohydrates, it's a big word for sugars, and these sugars could come from your breads, your pasta, your crackers, and those are options that can be made from flour. So any item that can be made from flour would be included in your carbohydrates. Corn, provision, also even fruits. So those are your sugars, and you get your energy from there. So you want to limit the amount that you have, because you don't want too much energy, because they could turn into fat. And then when we're looking at how we compose those meals or your plate, you want to use fats very sparingly. You don't want to use too many fats, and of course you want to have adequate water to flush out all of that food through your system. So a balanced diet, be it as challenging at times as it may be, it's one of the cornerstones of a healthy lifestyle.
For real, listen now, man. I don't know. I don't learn that. Oh God. And that's something I'm sure most of us would remember hearing from small, all through school. But how many of us actually do that? So it's again, and we're not saying that these tips are the be all and end all. Of course not. But these are just 10 different professionals giving one tip based on their sphere of operation. The kind of people they work with and what they've personally experienced and seen for themselves, of course. But you see that balanced diet thing, boy? Yeah, boy. Jeez, that not easy. Been hearing about that since I was small. But that balanced diet thing, not easy. But it is worth the effort. It's worth the effort. She said something that's very interesting, Nyasha Cabrera Stevenson. Is it Stevenson or Stevens? Sylvester. How I get with Stevens by Sylvester? What happened to me by? But she said something very interesting about looking younger. And I always remember this, my former art teacher at San Grande Junior Sec. I remember when we graduated from there, went on to comprehensive school. We would visit our teachers and that kind of stuff. And I remember some friends and I, we went to check her out because she was literally like a mother to us in the class, a very young mother. And here's why I say that: at 30 something, the lady used to look like 19. No joke. When she told us her age, we were shocked. We said, "Nah, miss, you're lying." No, the woman bring thing and at 30 something, the woman was looking like she was 19 going on 20. I said, "But what is this?" And she told us something that I personally never forget. She said, when you have children, some people may want to contest this. That's all right. Or some people might. But she said to me, when you have children young, you stay looking younger for longer. At the time, she had about 5 children. Some of them were actually our age, possibly older. And we had just left junior sec, so we were like, that's what, about 15ish, 13, 14ish kind of thing, around the coming to 15, And she never forget that. She said, when you have children, maybe that's a tip. So possibly that is a tip. But when you have children young, you stay looking young for longer. So, based on what we saw with her, I tended to believe it, because she was not exercise freak and all that kind of stuff. You have some people who genuinely just naturally look extremely gorgeous, for want of a better word. You have some people like that, but then there are some people it's really based on things that they do, that they've kept themselves a particular way. So maybe there's a tip: our children young, stay looking young for longer. Just saying, maybe. So let's go on to the next tip. 10 tips for a healthier lifestyle.
One of my advice for you guys is always try to eat your fruits as your first solid food intake when you rise in the morning. Probably want to eat that first because that would help your body to absorb the nutrients faster and better and aid in digestion. Additionally, to cut down on the bad snacking, as you would say, things heavy in sugars and so on, what you may want to do is create like a little fruit bowl with assorted fruit, cut up in bite-sized slices, and you snack on that throughout the day. And it's an activity that parents with young children could get them to appreciate fruits more and like fruits. So you cut up stuff like banana and so on, bite-sized pieces, and you encourage them to eat that before they eat any type of other snack, the packed snacks and so on. In addition, for some people who may have low tolerance for certain other types of fruits, you could probably want to make smoothies and so on out of the fruits and things that you don't really enjoy too much. That is also another healthy snack. So you pack that on a morning and you sip that throughout the day or at lunchtime once you're eating, once you're going through your day and so on. So in my experience, it's always good to incorporate the fruits, because the fructose provided by the fruit itself, the natural sugars, is a lot more readily acceptable and nutritious to your body than all the other artificial sweeteners and the traditional sugar that we may want to imbibe and so on. So, hope this could be added to your life for the enrichment of yourself and your family, especially as we battle this COVID-19 and we look to every natural opportunity to boost the immune system.
Oh yeah, Mr. Anson Spring, retired public servant, highly qualified EMT technician, emergency EMT, EMT, emergency medical technician, highly qualified, and he is giving us some very, very important tips. I can attest, I grew up in country. I know about, you see that fruit thing? Yeah, boy, yeah. Certain fruits are not that big on, but generally, you land me in a field with some fresh, and I'm not talking about market stuff. I mean, not discounting that in any way, but drop me in a field with some fresh. I remember I used to do some agriculture some years back, and we practically having lunch while we're working, because when we're picking okra, hello. What? Raw okra? Oh, yes. Oh, love it too bad. Raw okra. Just like that. Some people love the tomatoes while they're picking, tomatoes and I don't go down too good. But, some people like that, don't talk about things like watermelon and cucumber. You get some salt and pepper right there on the spot. Bananas and all the other stuff. So, fruits. Eat lots of fruits. This one here. This is one of the interesting ones that caught me. When this lady sent this, a friend of mine, Shuma, when she sent this, I said, serious? When I listened to the video, boy, I said, wow, that real eye-opener. So, ladies and gentlemen, tip number 5, 10 tips for a healthier lifestyle.
Hi everybody. Cookware. Yes, that's one of the things that people seldom pay attention to when it comes to their health. Everyone focuses on cutting back on sweets, and I'm eating less rice, and I'm exercising, and I'm steaming my food. But listen to me, that's not it. That's not all. If you want to really make an impact on your health, especially around food, pay attention. We are using the wrong type of cookware. Yes, your cookware can sabotage your health efforts. Most people cook with stainless steel, low-grade stainless steel. Now this low-grade stainless steel, that's what plumbers use. And what's wrong with that? Your water comes through the pipe and through the tap and you drink it, so nothing's wrong with it. The problem comes when we apply heat. When we apply heat to that low-grade stainless steel, we have to add oil in order to cook our foods, and we have to add water in order to cook our foods. Another thing that we use is, people say, well, I don't cook with oil anymore. I got a non-stick pan. Well, I got news for you. Non-stick is not safe. Then aluminum, a lot. I grew up in Trinidad. Yes, I live in Brooklyn now, but I know about those aluminum pot and making that good pilau or that curry. But aluminum is not good either, and so is glass, and so is cast iron. Read it all on the screen. But I'm telling you, what you need to do if you want to focus on your health is change your cookware. get high quality surgical grade stainless steel.
High quality surgical grade stainless steel. You know, when I hear tips like this really took me by surprise. I mean, yeah, like a lot of us don't pay attention to these things, you know. But the residue and all that kind of stuff, you know, coming from the pots and all that kind of thing. But a lot of us, when we hear things like this, high quality surgical grade stainless steel, the first thing jumps to mind is price. Always remember a quote a friend, not a friend actually, one of my sisters-in-law husbands. He says, where value is not known or not understood, price will always be a factor. Let me say that again. Where the value of something is not known or understood, price will always be a factor. I had to pause because I wanted to soak it in a little bit, so I paused a little bit. You know, when you tell people about doing things to keep themselves healthy, they look at cost, but they're not considering, if I do get sick, it may and very often will cost me way more than that to try to get myself back in order. Think about that. Think about the hundreds of thousands of people, and every now and then you see somebody with a GoFundMe or some sheet trying to raise money because they have to deal with some ailment. And if you trace it back, very often you'll realize it's something that could have been prevented if they had exercised certain measures, if they had done certain things. Yes, there are the cases where it's genuine, don't care what you do, something happened that you had no control over. You know, you're eating right, you're exercising, you're doing all the good things, and still something befall you. No problem. I understand that. We know that. We have those situations. But we also have those where people deliberately do things that they know is not healthy. People have told them over and over. They've seen the ads on TV, they've seen research, they've seen things all over the internet, you know, but they still engage in the practice. And then suddenly they find themselves in need of extreme medical care and have to constantly be now looking for money, sell their property, sell their car, all kind of stuff, and now almost like begging, you know, reaching out to people to help, to raise funds, because they have to they have to go away for an operation because they developed this, whatever it is, you know. But if they had exercised certain precautions and did what they needed to do, did the right thing, eat right, make sure they keep their body healthy, they exercise, they meditate and whatever, and you know, all those nice stuff, be moderate in the things they consume and stuff like that, very possible that they may not have needed to get 100,000 US to go away to pay for an operation. Just saying, maybe. So thank you, Sherma. Aparicio Sherma is a Trinidadian living in the US and doing some fantastic work out there. We actually had Sherma on a previous episode, and I will drop that link in the comment section later on, so anybody go back on, you know, you can find that information. So let's go on to tip number 6.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Michael Charles. I am a certified trainer. I have my own fitness club or fitness business, Formula Fitness Trainer, and today that deals with sporting event, 5K, you know, dragging boats and running, cycling, all different stuff. And I'm just here today to give you one tip, I should say, on living a healthier lifestyle. As you all may know, it's all about balance. So you need to eat correct, or eat right, or eat healthier, and then you need to actually put in some weight. So you actually need to work out. What some people tend to do is they work out to eat bad. And normally, not normally, it's not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to eat healthy and work out less. So I would say it's supposed to be 80% that and 20% working out, or anywhere around that ratio. My healthy tip is actually not about diet or not about exercising, well, physical exercising, but more mental exercising. So my fitness tip today is actually meditation. There's many avenues you can go down to if you don't know about meditation and you're not beginning. I would say go on YouTube. YouTube has a vast majority of meditation videos, music. Some people need music to meditate. Some people just need to sit down and relax in a quiet place, and some people actually need to just rock back and meditate. So yeah, my healthy tip is actually meditation, because you need a strong mind to actually do everything that you want to do. To get early in the morning to exercise, you need a strong mind. To eat correctly 90-80% of the times, you need to have a strong mind, and meditation actually helps with that process.
Interesting one. This is another one that I would not have considered putting on the list. But I like how we close it off. You need a strong mind to be able to cope with some of these things. You need a strong mind. When I tell you about how difficult it is just to start an exercise routine, it's hard, it's challenging. It's not everybody could just on their own and just decide I'm going to do this and just go through the routine. A lot of people need a partner, so that's why people join gyms and stuff like that, because to do it on their own, they need somebody to be driving them and pushing them and that kind of thing. But I like what he said, and when I heard it from that perspective, I say, okay, I understand, and it makes some sense. You need to strengthen the mind, and meditation helps to get the mind strong, so that you could the mental challenges of dealing with some of these things. You have the fortitude now. I won't say you have the fortitude now. You could go brave, right? So thank you, Michael Charles, and again, feel free to check those guys out. Most of them have, you could find them on Facebook, you could find them on Instagram. Some of them have their YouTube pages and that kind of stuff. Right? So we're going down with number 7. This lady we had her giving some tips for success. We also had her giving some things to stay away from, things that are detriment, the success killers. Because she's a business owner. She has a business. She has a thriving business. And incidentally, her business is in the area of health and fitness and wellness, and of course she's somebody I know. She's a friend, and of course I will use the platform to help create exposure to my friends and people who I know. So most of these persons here are persons that I can vouch for personally, who I know, as I said, I've used some of their services, but I even know them otherwise in other capacities on a personal level, so I could vouch for them. So here's Sally Ann with another tip for a healthier lifestyle.
Good evening, Loyal Red listeners. I'm Sally Ann, Sport Director of SpaLiciousTT.com, delivering a tip for a healthier lifestyle. Drink plenty water. As we get older, the need to improve water intake is very important for our health. Our body comprises 60% of water, and according to H. Mitchell Journal of Biological Chemistry 158, our brain and heart is approximately 73% water, lungs 83%, skin 64%, muscles and kidneys 79%, and bones 31% of water. Water is necessary for the effective function of bodily fluids in digestion, circulation, removal of toxins, absorption and transportation of nutrients, creation of saliva, maintenance of body temperature. For brain function, when it has a full reserve of water, it allows us to think faster, be more focused, experience greater clarity and creativity. Some people don't like to drink straight water, so they may add a slice of lemon or lime or cucumber, mint leaves, mobi, drink consomme soups, or put whatever makes the water potable. Even consuming fruits and vegetables with high water content helps add to daily water intake, like coconut water and jelly, pineapple, apples, oranges, watermelon, green leafy vegetables, just to name a few. The recommended intake for women is up to 2.7 liters of fluids and for men up to 3.7 liters of fluids. Or consume water based on your weight, half ounce to 1 ounce water for each pound you weigh daily. Remember, too much water can affect your body's sodium balance, so drink water in moderation. Drinking purified tap water or premium alkaline water are great options. However, if you'd like to transition from regular tap water to premium alkaline water, do so slowly. Half regular water plus half premium alkaline water in an 8-ounce glass or a liter-sized bottle. In this way, your body will adjust to the change in the body pH levels. So drinking plenty of water is your tip for a healthier lifestyle. Reach one, teach one, share positively. It's contagious.
Hey, listen, two things Sally said there was a bit of a revelation to me. I knew the body, certain parts of, well, the body generally, I knew the body comprised of a heavy percentage of water. But over 30% water in your bones, that hard thing, imagine that. Your bones are made up of over 30% water. That was interesting. And then the other thing she said close to the end, that too much water could throw off your salt balance. One of the things I learned about salt is that your joints need salt for lubrication. However, it works, but it works. And salt is actually a good remedy for dealing with cramps. And I can't remember if I read it or somebody told me, but I remember I found out, years ago. If ever you caught a cramp in the sea, drink salt water. I didn't believe it at first. Honestly, I did not believe it at first. And I remember there was a time growing up that I used to catch cramp regularly. I don't know if it was the temperature of the water or what, but I used to get cramp. Your foot just kind of lock up and pain while bathing. And I remember I got this tip. I decided, and I went brave. And I pulled down a whole mouthful of salt water. And I just relaxed a little bit. And in quick time, the cramp went. And I've seen that happen several times in that situation. Prior to that, if I caught cramping, I had to come out of the water. So I couldn't go deep. I had that fear because I couldn't go deep, because if I catch a cramp while I'm out there, how I swimming out? So I'd usually stay not too far from shore, chest high, neck high kind of thing. So even if I had to hop on one foot to come out, I could do that. But when I got cramp, I either had to come out of the water or hold on to somebody for a good little while till that kind of, But then I started to put that into practice. So as soon as I feel any little thing, salt water. Yeah, salt water. You're bathing in it. It's all over you. Who tell it not going in the mouth? In the nose, all kind of things. Right? So yeah, drink some salt water. And that usually deals with that scenario. But I did not understand that too much water. I didn't know, and this is me. I don't know everything. I didn't know there was such a thing as too much water. I mean, generally, you have too much of anything. And of course, when your belly full, it's full. But I didn't understand that you could have so much water consumed in your body that it's almost like if it started to thin out everything else. So it starts to, like, you put salt in water, and if you keep adding water, the saltiness goes. So the effect of the salt is less and less. So it makes sense in that sense. So thank you, Sally and Spalicious Titi. Hey, all the good people. Check them out. Yeah, there's a good friend of mine, Mr. Nielsen. Neil is a fire rescue tech, and Neil has a very interesting tip for us here. Mr. Nielsen Handel.
Most people believe to live a healthy lifestyle or to lead a healthy lifestyle, it requires, a lot of dieting and stuff like that. But sometimes people diet, they go on all types of diet, and at the end of the day, it's all about what you eat. You need to eat regularly, but eat in small portions. We should try to consume foods that are high in carbohydrates, and even things like, everybody talk about fruits and vegetables. Of course, fruits and vegetables are also considered carbohydrates. These type foods could protect you from essential diseases. It can prevent you from getting heart diseases, diabetes, and even some types of cancer. But then again, too much carbohydrates like sugar and even corn syrup, these things and all are not, consuming too much of it at the end of the day can also cause us to get some of these very sad diseases. So if I am to give a tip for a healthy lifestyle, one, first of all, have Christ in your life. And after that, on the physical side, eat everything, but eat in small portions. That's my tip.
Ooh, hey, Nielsen. Yeah, man. And that's one I've heard many years ago, but not quite the way you put it over. And it's interesting. And like we said, the same thing that you're eating to prevent certain diseases, if you overdo it, you could end up bringing on the same diseases you're trying to prevent. That's interesting. So we really had to know what we're doing. We really had to do some research. And I like how we summed it up. You actually could eat everything, but do it in moderation. And that's the bottom line. Now the thing about it is, and while that is very general, there is also something a nurse friend told me about this some years ago. There is something called eating to your blood type, and that's a very interesting tip. So you all can check it out. Eating to your blood type, and the logic is simple, that based on your blood type, A positive, A negative, B negative, whatever, there are certain fruits or foods that would have either a positive or negative impact on you based on your blood type. So you might see somebody eating a particular thing that is generally touted as being unhealthy, but because of their blood type, it is actually not bad for them, and it does not have the effect that it may have on most other people, or vice versa. It may be the other way. Things that everybody else eating comfortable and not having any issues, the minute they eat that, they start to break out in rash and a number of different things. They get sick and they had to go hospital, and because it does not agree with their blood type. So just to expand on what Neil said, yes, eat everything in moderation, but we also need to be aware of these factors. So maybe we could take that as number 12. I think I gave her number 11. So maybe we could take that as number 12. Yeah, eating to your blood type. And maybe I'll try to get that nurse. I haven't seen her in quite a while. Fenella Barfield. Met her in Tobago some years back while doing some work. She resides out in the US. She's from St. Lucia, living in the US. She's a senior nurse out there, and she was sharing that with us. So I'm going to try and hook up with her and get back, because I think that's a very serious and important topic that we need to look at. Eating to your blood type. Everybody just can't eat any and everything lavish. Just it don't work like that. But I understand there's a general context to which Neil is saying, and yes, I totally agree with that. Just eat everything in moderation. And we want to say thanks to him for that. So let's go on to tip number 9. Coming down to the close here. Tip number 9.
If I had to give one tip for a healthy lifestyle, I will use rest, sleep. You may be saying, why rest, why sleep? Because you could be doing everything that you need to do
to have a healthy lifestyle, eating all the right things, drinking all the right things, doing all the right exercises, whatever type of exercises you may choose. But at the end of the day, when you do all these good stuff, eating right, exercising right, but if you're not resting right, all of those things I did previously will go to waste, because the body needs to recuperate. And what a lot of people don't understand is the body breaks down when you're exercising, and in order for the body to recuperate or to build muscles or to do anything, you must rest. So my tip for today is rest, sleep, rest, sleep. Work, eat, sleep, rest. Thanks for Red for having me on this program. Big up to Eric, number one.
The best thing Sheldon is just said inside here. Red, number one. That just kicks in. No, but seriously, I think I'm going to create a show and have some of these very said people come back where we can talk live, so that we can expand. This is just tips, but I want us to be able to expand on some of these issues. Maybe we could do a few episodes on that, because at the end of the day, your health is your wealth, people. Right now we're going through all kind of different pieces of drama just to try to stay healthy, and one of the main things in battling this disease and this pandemic is the issue of maintaining or developing a healthy immune system. So this is important. A very important tip from my friend Sheldon James: rest. That boy, that one come from me direct. Boy. That's for me. That's for me direct. Because I am a workhorse. When I get into something, my mother could tell you, my wife could tell you, when I get into a project, I like to complete it. So it doesn't matter how much hours, I have to go. I don't mind. Not that I don't mind. I would mentally prepare myself. Okay, this is what it takes. We're going through. And sometimes I cheat myself out of some good rest. That's a fact. Also, Neil talked about the eating regular in small portions. That's something I definitely need to work on as well, because again, likewise, when I'm working, I don't stop to eat. If I'm performing a particular task, I like to finish that task. Sometimes guys go on jobs with me, production, and when everybody else having a little thing on the side, I still there plug in, pulling a cable thing, because I want to see a particular phase of the operation complete first before I could sit down to eat. Sometimes at the end of the job, we have to rack up and pack up and that kind of thing. More often than not, I prefer to rack down everything first, get my equipment out of the way, because you have several other vendors who overlapping with you, so you don't want your things to be in their way, and you don't want people to take the thing by mistake. So sometimes I would only go ahead and eat, but I need to get this done. So I would pack away the switcher, pack away this, put away the cameras, put away the key things that somebody might be inclined to go with. Make sure that's secure, then I eat. But generally I'm like that. Sometimes I'm home and I'm engaged in something, and my wife would hot some food. Babes, it ready? Yeah, come in, thing. And I so engrossed in what I'm doing, the food end up getting cold, like if it was in the fridge. And I go and hot it over again. I remember a time she had a hot food 3 times, because every time she hot it, yeah, come in. But I just have to finish this. And sometimes some long spells come, and of course at a point like that, when you go to eat, you ain't eating no small portion. You're eating like a Viking, as we would say it. So the plate tall, so because you're eating, because you're not sure, you're not going to break again the next hour, 2 hours to come back to you. The next time you eat might be about 6-7 hours later. So you eat, and that's me. That has been me for years. So I am going to try to exercise a lot of these tips that I have put out, that I've gotten from these fine folks, and that's one I definitely need to put into practice. I've been hearing about that for years, but time to make it happen. Last tip, and this one, I like this. I put this one for last because this one kind of encapsulates. It kind of encapsulates, if I should use that term, all the others. Some people actually mentioned it along the way. But this is all about treating yourself. So here is tip number 10. 10 tips for a healthier lifestyle.
Hey guys, Krista here from Wellness Bliss and Massage Therapy, and today I just want to leave a little tip for you to just remind you that self-care is one of the most important things a person can do for themselves. You know, most of the time we work so hard and we see what everyone else helps up ourselves. So I want to say to you guys today, take time to just pamper yourself, do something for you. You can come down and do a spa treatment. You can do a massage, guys. A massage goes such a long way. It relaxes you, it removes tension. Anybody that day, you might be very high stress. Guys, a massage is such a nice experience, to really relax you. Or you can do a pedicure. Your feet is the most important part of your body, guys. Doing a pedicure is ideal just to relax and give you that light feeling, guys.
Yeah, I've never done a pedicure. I hear about it. I see people do it. Of course, I know what it is. I personally have never done one. But something Crystal just said there, and I feel I don't want to do one. I've used Crystal's services already. My wife and I had some massages and stuff like that. And Crystal's husband, Rodney, also works along with her. So if you have, if you're concerned about the whole male-female issue, about females touching the males touching females, that kind of thing, they have a very nice partnership arrangement going on. So Rodney would usually handle the men. For the most part, there are cases where he will do some massages on women, but generally Rodney treats the men's massage, while Crystal does most of the female massages. If they're comfortable, they would. I've seen them work either way. Rodney massaging ladies, Crystal massaging men. Of course, very controlled and very, very professional in the way they go about it. So big up to them, man. Crystal Antoine, Wallace Bliss Zen Massage Therapy, Spa and Massage Therapy and Spa. So again, I will post the contact information for all these fine folks subsequently in the chat, so you can go back and check it out and look at it again. And based on what you hear, if there's somebody there that you feel you want to engage for their services, I will endorse all of them. All of them. They're good. So again, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we wrap it up for another evening right here on Red. And as I said, I promise I'm going to get some of these folks. Possibly over a period of time we could get all, but I'm definitely going to get some of them. So in the very near future we'll have a sit down talk, call-in, chat-in session where you could engage them, ask questions live on the chat and that kind of stuff, and have them respond to you. If you have concerns health-wise and stuff, we'll advertise it properly, so you'll be able to get to them, getting on the action and benefit from that whole process. So this is where we shut it down. One more evening. Red. This is episode number how much, boy? What, 36 or 37, somewhere there. Yeah, we've been going for quite a while. We actually started just at that period when we entered into the lockdown in March, April, around there. We started just about there, and we've been going almost every week since then. We've actually had I think we had like two occasions, I believe, where we didn't have any red. So couple things to note. We're looking to expand, and I would love to get your input on this. We want to change. I'm looking at changing the time slot. So what do you think might be a good time slot for red. We definitely want to go one later in the evening, but it doesn't have to be a weekday. It could be a weekend. What do you think? Those of you who are on the viewing end of things, what you feel might work better for you guys. So we definitely want to do that. Also, we're going to be taking the next steps to bring red into what it was originally intended to be, not just a show, but a station, a channel. So we have been engaging a number of other people so that if one thing works out works out well, sometime in the near future we will be having other presenters coming to do other shows under the red banner. So of course that would mean more days of activities, different time slots, and all get towards working the way up to where we could have daily live programming, maybe not 24/7, at least not yet, but at least where we could get to the point where we could have daily programming, live programming on red, where you can engage people, you can ask questions, you can get help on different issues and that kind of thing. So we have people that will be coming in from the teaching first, and right now there's an issue going on with the whole teaching thing, the online stuff. So we have something coming up on that, and budget now finish, so they're going to start the debate just now. So we have some conversations will be coming up where that is concerned, and what people think about the government's procedure and how they're handling things, and what they think the government should do, things that they probably need to focus on to bring the country out of this mess. So, hey guys, on the all serious talk, if you have not gotten involved in cryptocurrency yet, you need to. You don't know what you're missing. You will read all kind of. Here's the funny thing about I often tell people, when you start to talk things like this and they start to talk cryptocurrency, people start to tell you about some article they read on Google. But the same Google, right under the article that spoke negatively about cryptocurrency, there's an article right under that speaks positively about it. But you chose to accept the negative one. Why? Think about that for a minute. You saw two articles on the same search engine at the same time, one negative, one positive, but you chose to accept the negative over the positive. Why? Think about that for a minute, and we're going to get into this conversation some other time. Cryptocurrency, because at the end of the day, it's about education, inspiration, motivation. Not because you are not aware of something means it doesn't exist. One, not because you don't agree with something means it is not correct. Two, not because you don't like something means it is not of benefit to people. Three, think about those for a minute, and see you guys next time. We're going to talk more about that when we get here again on Red.